Family Creeps presents Quarantine Horror Stories, Episode 5. I Think My Husband is a Serial Killer, Part 2. Written by The Dark Diggler. Narrated by The Dark Diggler. I sat on the chair and began to feel nauseous. I didn't know what to expect. I turned up the volume and listened to the first audio. This is what the audio said. Hello, Felix. I'm Dr. Lamb. How are you? I'm okay, Doctor. Well, let's get comfortable. I'm going to ask you some questions. Let's try to answer as best as you can, okay? Okay, Doctor. Remember to be honest with me. You're safe with me. What you say in this office stays in this office. Understand? Yes. I understand, Doctor. Good. So, Felix, how old are you? I'm 14. Okay, and what grade are you in? I'm in the 9th grade. You like school? It's okay, I guess. I mean, it's like regular high school. Nothing special. Okay, Dr. Lamb laughed. Let's talk about your home life. I'd rather talk about high school. There was a slight uncomfortable pause in the audio. Why don't you want to talk about home, Felix? I just don't want to. Not now, Dr. Lamb, okay? Sure, Felix. I'm here to help you. If you don't want to talk about it, we don't have to. So I hear you're a straight A student. Yes, I made the honor roll both semesters. Felix had a burst of energy in his voice. Clearly, he was very proud of his honor roll accomplishment. Well, that's very good, Felix. I'm sure your parents are proud of you. Yeah, well, my mom is. What about your dad? I know what you're trying to do, Dr. Lamb. I said I didn't want to talk about it. My home life, I mean. Not yet, anyway. Don't do that. I'm not stupid. I'm sorry, Felix. I didn't mean to upset you. So what's your favorite subject? Science and chemistry. Why are those your favorite subjects? It makes sense. Science can be proven. Chemistry can be proven. There's no guessing. Fire is hot. Water is wet. Gives a sense of stability and balance in life. That's interesting, Felix. So that's what gives you comfort, stability? Well, yeah, Doctor. Isn't stability one of the few things all humans want? I agree. Science and chemistry has order and structure. That's what I like the most. That's interesting, Felix. But what do you like to do for fun? I like to read, play video games. You know, normal kid stuff, I guess. You don't have friends? No, not really. Friends are messy. I'm my own entertainment. How about a girlfriend? I said I don't have friends. What makes you think I have a girlfriend? Dr. Lamb laughed. Well, I guess you're right. A buzzer rang in the background. Well, Felix, our time is up. Would you like to come back and talk some more? Yes, sir, Doctor. That'd be nice. How about in 2 weeks? That's fine, Doctor. I'll see you in 2 weeks. Have a good day. Take care, Felix. There was a 5-second pause in the audio. I was about to turn it off until I heard Dr. Lamb's voice. Felix shows a very high intelligence for his age, very well spoken. The mention of his family bothers him, especially his father. He's not ready, but I think in time I can get to the root of his problem. It seems to be focused around his family, or maybe his father. This is Dr. Lamb, Session 1 with Felix Leon. I stopped the audio. I sat in the chair and stared at the screen. Felix's mother passed away right after we had our 3rd child. She was a loving, sweet woman. Felix loved her dearly. Felix's father died when he was about 14 or so. He was killed in a shooting. He was a police officer. He was off duty when 4 men approached him in a car and gunned him down. According to Felix, it was a case of mistaken identity. I never pressed my husband for more information. The death of his father was always a sensitive topic for him. I had more questions than answers. Why did Felix never tell me he went to therapy? Was he in therapy because he had a hard time dealing with his father's death? Why did he have so much information about the Cape Town castrator? I looked at the time on the laptop. Shit, 4:30. It was getting late. I needed time to put things back and start dinner. I needed some extra time to get my mind right and appear normal before Felix got home. Felix got home later than usual and spent most of the night in the basement. I worried maybe I left something out of place. Felix eventually came upstairs, kissed me on my cheek. I love you, Mimi, and went to sleep. He hasn't called me Mimi in years. He called me Mimi in college whenever he was really exhausted. He joked that Michelle was just too long to say. I didn't get much sleep. My mind was in a track meet. I needed to know the full backstory of my husband. The next couple of days, I fell into a routine. The shelter at home law really gave me time to go through the audio files. It wasn't until the 20th audio file things got really interesting. It started with their normal conversation. I assumed Felix began to grow more and more comfortable with Dr. Lamb. He finally opened up about his father. The conversation went like so. So, Felix, anything you want to talk about today? Yeah, doctor. I had a dream about my dad last night. Oh, can you remember the dream? Yeah, I can. Dad was standing over me while I was sleeping. I woke up and he was in the corner of my room. I can see the gunshots and the blood. I wasn't afraid. I was angry. He walked over to me and sat on the edge of the bed. He reached out to grab my hand, but I pulled away. He asked for my forgiveness, and then I woke up. Why would your father ask you for forgiveness? He knows what he did. My father was a terrible man. I see. Well, what did he do that was so terrible? He cheated on my mother. He had a mistress. The night he was killed, he was leaving her house. This is the first time you've talked about your father and his passing. How did it make you feel when he died? There was a pause in the audio. Felix, it's okay. Remember, you're safe here. Well, I was happy. I was relieved. That man was nothing but trouble. Can you elaborate for me? Felix hesitated. It seemed like he was choosing his words wisely. I don't want to say, but no, he deserved what he got, and my life got easier once he was gone. I see. What about your mother? My mother didn't take my father's death well, but she's recovering. I'm not worried about my mom. Well, she's worried about you, which is the reason you're here. My mom worries too much, Felix laughed. The buzzer sounded and the session was over. I stopped the audio and couldn't believe it. Felix never told me about his father. He told me he was killed by 4 men, but the truth was he was murdered coming from his mistress' house. He had a mistress. I couldn't believe it. I remember Felix telling me people are like onions. We all have layers. Boy, he hit the nail right on the head with that one. The audio tapes became my obsession. I took notes and listened over and over again. Audio 23 changed everything. It started out normal until Felix brought up a news article he read the day before. The audio went like this. Doctor, I had a hard time sleeping last night. Why, Felix? Well, I had a dream about my father. In the dream, he survived the shooting. He came back home and Felix hesitated in finishing his sentence. It's okay. You're safe here. I was doing well, doctor, just fine. Until I read the newspaper last night. I read about that child molester guy who got off because the police didn't have the proper search warrant or something. All those innocent children won't get justice. That's what made you have the bad dream about your father? Yeah, doctor. The room was silent. I heard Felix sniffle a few times. It's okay. What happened? You can tell me. Felix's voice trembled. It started when I was about 7. my father would come into my room at night and just lay next to me. I didn't think anything of it. It was nice to have him next to me at night. But then things got weird and started to change. It didn't feel good anymore. It felt awkward and weird. I began to notice he would get, an erection, and he would press it up against me. I tried to move, but he would pull me into him and rub it against my body. I knew it was wrong. Things just got worse. He would ask me to touch it, play with it. He told me don't tell anyone because they would take him away and I wouldn't have a father anymore. I love my dad, so I didn't say anything. It felt wrong and I began to hate the night. I knew that monster was going to come into my room and make me do things to him. One night he tried to penetrate me. I screamed, he got mad and choked me and told me to shut up. Oh, it hurt my mom. Felix began to cry. It's okay, Felix. I can help you. I can help you get past the hurt and the pain. Come, sit next to me. I know a way you can come past this and get over this. You must come through this pain. I can help you. You have to relive it. You have to go through it again and prove to yourself you're strong. What do you mean, doctor? I'm going through it right now. No, let me show you what I mean. The audio went silent and I heard muffled sounds. No, get off me. You're just like him. I knew I could trust you. No, I'm gonna help you. Help me? By doing the same thing that animal did to me? Felix, I have helped others like you the same way. Let me cure you. Fuck you! The door opened and slammed shut, and the audio ended. I began to cry. I felt so bad for my husband. He's been living with this his whole life, being molested by your father and almost molested by your therapist. I didn't know what to do. I couldn't just bring this up to my husband. He would know I'd been snooping around, and I still haven't fit all the pieces of the puzzle yet. I have to keep it to myself until I can figure this whole thing out. But one thing did amaze me. There's one audio left. Did Felix go back after what that crazy quack tried to pull? Felix was off for the next 2 days. It felt like 2 months. All I wanted to do was listen to the last audio. Finally, Felix went to work. I got downstairs and played the last audio. Here's how it went. Hello, Dr. Lamb. Nice to see you again. I have to say, Felix, I didn't think I'd see you again. I had to come to thank you. Hey, mind if I stand and walk and talk? I think better when I'm on my feet. Sure, Felix. That BMW you have, that's a beautiful car. Thank you, Felix. It's the latest model. I hear there was a recall. Something about brakes being bad? No, I haven't heard about that, Felix. Okay, well, anyway, I wanted to say thank you. I was having a hard time dealing with what I did, but last week's session made me realize what my true purpose is. Well, I'm glad I can help. I told you I can cure you. But what did you do that made you have a hard time? You see, Dr. Lamb, my father was molesting me for years, every night. I began to hate him, a deep, searing hate in my bones. But I was a small boy. What could I do against a big, strong police officer? I waited and followed him. When I was 12, I found out about that floozy bitch of a mistress he had. You see, my father was a hard-nosed cop. He always pushed the line. One day, he crossed that line. He beat a kid almost to death. The pigs in blue covered it up so nothing happened to him. Some of the local neighborhood goons wanted some payback. So I waited and waited. I waited for another 2.5 years until the perfect chance. Every Thursday, he would go to his mistress' house. He would tell my mom he was working. So the night before the murder, I snuck into where he kept his gun and took out all of his bullets. And I emptied out all of his clips. I also gave the goons an anonymous tip where the pig who beat up the kid was going to be that Thursday. That bastard didn't have a chance. Felix, did you kill your father? No, of course not, Doctor. The goons did. But maybe I put the plan in motion? For a long time, I actually felt bad. Sometimes, anyway, for what I did. But our last session proved I did the right thing. I have a new mission in life, to get rid of the filth and the animals like you and my father. Felix, well, Doctor, I didn't come here to listen to you talk your garbage. I'm done talking. Just wanted to say thank you. And I need the audio tapes of our sessions as well. Felix, Dr. Lamb, don't lie. Give me the tapes now. Here we go. Thank you, Doctor. Drive safely. The audio tapes stopped. My blood ran cold. It can't be. Did he really do that? Did he really set his father up to be killed? A light bulb went off in my head. I knew that name sounded familiar. Dr. Lamb, Dr. Lamb. I googled the name. Yes, I remember. It was a huge scandal. After his death, 12 teens came forward and said that he molested them. I looked at the cause of Dr. Lamb's death. It was a car accident. His brakes failed. Hey guys, I hope you guys really like part 2 of that story. Part 3 will be coming soon. I hope you guys are really enjoying these stories that we're giving you. Remember, again, these are all written by yours truly. If you like this video, please hit the like button, hit that subscribe, comment below, share your thoughts, good, bad, ugly, doesn't matter to me. Thank you guys so much for listening, and I will see you guys and hear from you guys hopefully in part 3. Take care, everybody. Stay creepy.